Hello, friends, and thank you for joining us for episode 199 on the Fort Worth Roots. How many trips do you think you'll end up taking before you rip that? We only do number one bumper sticker off. How long is it going to take until you break the holy rule?
Always open to emergencies, but hopefully never.
I'm so sorry, Ruby.
It'd be like a bridesmaids moment.
Oh, God. You can find Fort Worth Roots on all of your favorite streaming services, Pandora, Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many more. You can also get us on our website at fortworthroots.com, where you can also find a drop-down menu for trusted sponsors, all of the people that help us keep the lights on here at the Fort Worth Roots podcast, and our live music festival can be found on that tab. Speaking of the live music festival, we just had an outstanding performance by the Jaybirds out at Augie's this past Saturday. And our next event for the live music festival is going to be late to the station at Panther Island Brewing. That's July 20th, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. No admission. And right at the bottom of the flyers we've been passing out, it says, in an effort to support local businesses and provide additional stages for local musicians, the Fort Worth Roots podcast has created the Live Music Festival. Can you make it? We would love to see you guys out there. The support means a lot to us. If you can't make it, we'd appreciate it if you could pass the information along. You can find the flyers on our Facebook, our Instagram, and on TikTok talking about the Live Music Festival. We want to make sure that we try as hard as we can to make this thing bigger and better for you every single year, but we're going to need some help. We can't do it all by ourselves. Information on the Live Music Festival, of course, is on all of our social media pages, and every one of them is Fort Worth Roots. Stay tuned to the very end of the episode. We'll talk about all of our sponsors helping us keep the lights on here at the Fort Worth Roots podcast and a bunch of announcements, events that are coming up. We do like to cover two of our sponsors right up front. Are you craving quality music made right here in Fort Worth? Visit amplify817.org to browse and stream a growing collection of commercial-free local music wherever you are. Do your ears a favor and discover your new favorite local group today on amplify817.org. Amplify 817 is a service of the Fort Worth Public Library, sponsored in part by community donors to the Fort Worth Public Library Foundation, which pays local artists up front to feature their music on the platform. Again, that is amplify817.org. Go check it out. Flurry Fitness, find them on Instagram as Flurry Fitness Fort Worth. They're located at 643 Sherry Lane, Fort Worth, Texas, 76114, right across from the military base and in the same parking lot as Target, right behind the Waffle House. You're not going to find a more effective group fitness class. Go check them out on Instagram. It's Flurry Fitness Fort Worth. Thank you guys for listening to this week's episode. We'd love it if you'd give us a follow on Instagram. It is Fort Worth Roots. Thank y'all so much for being here, and give it up for our friends Hillary Tips and Steve Obermiller. And let's start the show. Hillary and Steve, Tips and Obermiller, local Fort Worth legendary musical geniuses, back for their second time, right?
Why are you starting this whole podcast off with a bunch of lies?
No, nothing I said was a lie, sir.
We can be a legend to him.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
You've been on the Fort Worth Roots podcast before.
That's right.
Exactly.
You're now a pillar of this community's music life.
Repeat offenders.
Yes. Welcome back.
Thank you for
This
having
is the
us.
second time, right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I couldn't remember if y'all if this was going to be the third time or not.
Just
but
two.
I've been hanging out with Steve so much, I feel like I see him all
I
the time.
know,
Not
I
you
see
so
all the
much,
time.
Hillary.
No,
You're a busy bee.
I am. And I like to stay at the house as much as possible.
Especially in this heat, right?
Yes. I mean, even not in the heat.
But y'all
But people can come see me.
were just telling me about a camping trip that y'all just came back from. How long were y'all down there?
We were down at Kerrville Folk Festival for a week.
7 days.
Yeah. Yep.
It's a long time to be in a tent.
Well, we get to cheat because we have a camper van.
Oh,
Metal tent.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Metal tent with an air conditioner.
Right.
Yeah. It's really loud. So we're like yelling, "Huh? Did you make some coffee yet?" But I mean,
But it's worth it.
I'll take it.
Yeah, totally
When
worth
did,
it.
when did y'all get this awesome metal tent on wheels?
So I've been saving up for a couple years,
Yeah.
and then we had to, and then we shopped for it for like 6 months, but we finally purchased it in February of this year.
You didn't build it, you bought one.
No,
we
yeah.
bought one,
Yeah.
and we bought it. It's like 5 years old,
Okay.
and we got a really good deal, and yeah, we love it so
It's
much.
so much fun. Yeah. We've taken it out a couple of times already on a couple of runs, and
We thought about building one, but Steve's not that handy.
no, I'm
Come
not.
on.
There's no way I could
Steve
get
could
into
do
that.
I was like, couldn't you and Theo? Do you know Theo Carasino?
I don't know, do I?
I don't know. Do you?
I don't. You
He's
probably
an
run into
older
it.
gentleman who just
Okay.
came out with his first album. You guys
Oh.
should all go listen to it.
Okay.
It's called Better Than a Dream. Anyway, and he's a woodworker, but he's in his 70s.
Yeah, I mean,
And I was gonna have him
If I
and
was
Steve
going to do
build
anything
it,
like
but
that, it was going to
yeah.
probably take 3 years to do. And, yeah.
Sometimes it's easier just to write that check.
Yeah, and what you get with this amazing van is just you couldn't build it on your
Yeah.
own. So it's
cool.
lovely.
She's
It's
pretty
great.
great.
And
We love her.
2 beds, got the whole toilet and shower, and kitchen, and all the stuff you need. So
That's awesome.
yeah, it really helps us out on the road.
And
We got to be dirty hippies.
I'm remembering now that you guys have been taking like social media videos from the road.
Mm-hmm.
So have y'all been traveling a lot? Gigging?
Some, let's see, we went out on our maiden voyage to West Texas and New Mexico and Big Bend it was just in the very beginning of March, I think, right after we bought Ruby. That's what we call her.
That's her name. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you just call it Big Ben like the clock?
No, was my D was silent, huh?
Your D did not come out at all. I was like, we didn't go to London. That'd be.
Yeah, London by way of West Texas.
Did y'all hit Marfa, Interlingua, and all that?
We were in Alpine is where we ended up.
Oh, okay.
So we stayed in Fort Davis because we accidentally didn't plan that well. It was spring break and we didn't know we were going to have the camper, so we didn't reserve anything. So we got really lucky and found a really cool spot in Fort Davis.
At the state park. Yeah.
It was really high up and it was really neat. And it was the first time we got to like hook up the van to all of the things, and so just use it like a house, like a little bitty house. It was so cool.
It was great. So that was our maiden voyage, and then I don't think we've taken her out until we just went to Kerrville after that. So I think that's right. But then we're going to be out back out there at the end of this month.
And we took her to the Eclipse Fest.
Oh, that's right. We took her to Eclipse Fest.
Where did y'all go down for that?
In East Texas, we got to play with a bunch of East Texas musicians. In Quitman.
And y'all witnessed the passing of the eclipse?
Yes.
Yeah, it was phenomenal.
And our friends Meredith Crawford and Zach Aaron were playing at the time, and it was really cool. It was like starting to get dark, and they'd stop in between and put on their glasses, and we'd all look, and then finally, and then they stopped so we could watch the whole thing. That was
It's like a good 20, 30 minutes, right? Where everything's just kind of a little weird.
Yeah.
The
Totally.
leaves, just check out the shadows coming off the leaves.
Yes, and all the birds got really confused, and
Feels weird.
And Zach's dog like laid down and went to bed.
Are you serious?
I got real
It's like,
tired
well,
real
snap
fast.
time.
Yep.
Totally.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was great. Where were you?
We actually did it from the house.
Cool.
We'd made a trip down in San Antonio, or just outside of San Antonio, to see Megan's family, and we were gonna stay, but we also wanted to get home, and that would have been the prime spot because it was right in the middle of the path.
Mm-hmm.
But so we came home and watched it from the porch of our new house in Springtown, and it was perfect. I mean, we weren't right in the dead middle of the path, but there's no way you could have told me that.
It still got
Looking at
completely
it.
dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The street lights came on,
Oh, wow.
which was wild. I'm like, oh.
We were out in the field, so we were out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. So that's my second eclipse within a year, because there was another one, and we went down to where did we go? We're down south somewhere. I can't remember the name of the town, but it was like right in the middle of the path, and you got the ring of fire in that one because it wasn't a total eclipse. I think they call it an annular eclipse. And I was with my photographer buddy, and he took a bunch of cool photos, and that was just fun to be part of that and hanging out with some friends. It's a good excuse to get out in nature and just do something.
Yeah,
I think we were in Houston
who
for
poo-pooed
that
it, I don't really understand. It's just cool, man. You know, it's pretty cool.
Weren't we in Houston for that one? That was when we were doing those shows with Libby. We did go out before we got the van this year, and we got to go out with Libby Coke and play like a bunch of bucket list venues.
Where's Libby Coke from?
She's from Houston.
Okay.
And she's like
the unofficial mayor of Houston.
And she might hold together the fabric of the universe. Like there's not really a lot of musicians that don't know Libby and love Libby. Yeah.
We went out on the road and without, having the van and that was sort of the total final straw.
Yeah.
We were like, oh my God.
It was wonderful. We were hosted.
It was fabulous.
It was fantastic.
But at the same time, we were like, oh.
Libby's a folk star, man. She goes hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
Got to watch out for them folk people, huh?
Well, she's, she leans over on that countryside pretty far.
Yeah.
She's pretty, She goes hard.
She
eats pizza at 11:30 at night.
Oh, heartburn for a week. Are you kidding me? No way.
I went to the ER after that.
Just from watching, right?
No,
Did you eat the pizza too?
Yeah.
Hillary.
I was trying to keep up. I wanted to be cool, like the cool guys.
Libby's obviously a masochist. You don't want to do that to yourself.
I think Libby might be like superhuman.
Oh,
I think she might not be like the rest of us.
She goes pretty hard. She's wonderful. She's incredible.
Well, shout out to Libby.
You're right.
We'll get her on the show next time she comes to Fort Worth.
There you go.
Oh,
that'd be cool,
really
right?
Yeah.
We're going to take you up on that.
Okay.
We're going to try to get her up here.
Very cool.
And for you guys listening, it's Coke. Koch.
Okay.
Yep. She's wonderful.
I might remember to put it in the show notes. Andrew, don't forget.
Andrew, don't forget.
Tell me about this festival that y'all went down to. I'm really interested to hear about that.
Kerrville Folk Festival?
Mm-hmm.
It's
3 weeks of music and 3 solid weeks.
The last
a
day
lot of
is
people
today.
stay down the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to stay the whole 18 days next year.
That's what she's threatening. We stayed half this time.
Not quite half.
Yeah, but we normally go down for the Memorial Day weekend, Thursday to Monday, and we are a part of some Fort Worth folks who started the Loser Camp. Is the name of the camp. It's the largest, probably the largest camp down there.
I don't know if we're the largest anymore.
It's pretty close. And anyway, song circles all night. Like literally, you could stay up until the break of day if you wanted to. And you get to wander around the campsite and join other people's song circles and stuff.
Very cool.
And then they just have incredible music, during the evenings on the main stage and stuff.
Do y'all have a pretty good spot? Like nobody's really around to
We're right
complain
by the
about
main
the
stage.
news.
Yeah, we're right.
The noise. I called it the news. Jesus.
It's been a long day.
Because I started talking while you were talking. Sorry.
That's probably it.
It was my fault.
Okay. No, but are y'all kind of secluded?
No, We're actually right at the top of the hill where the entrance to the theater is, that area. So,
okay.
And there's campsites all around. It's on several hundred acres. I mean,
it's a big ranch.
It's a big ranch.
So when you're talking about this camp, is it just y'all set up and then call it Loser Camp?
So yeah, you can go early and stake your claim where you want your tents and stuff like that.
And y'all are kind of repping the Fort Worth
area. Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, and Matthew Williams is one of the founding member of it. And we have people from Canada that come and all around the country that are now part of it and just join in for the week, and then they break, and then so many other camps stay the whole time.
Yeah.
But this time we stayed until the following Thursday, because Hillary and I went from Monday to Thursday to what they call song school. And it
was amazing.
Yeah, 9 in the morning to 5 in the evening, like all day song school. You just get the dork out about songs and songwriting with 4 or 5 pretty masterful songwriters and master classes and breakout sessions and song critiques and everything.
You were talking about attendance. Were you telling me that Loser Camp had 50 people there?
Yeah.
And then so a much larger group for the entire festival.
I mean, I don't
probably
even
several
know what the numbers.
thousand.
I don't know.
Probably
1,000.
I don't know. Yeah, somewhere.
Easily.
It's hard to count whenever, that big of an area and people are coming and going.
Yeah.
And not everybody camps. Some people just come in to see the weekend main stage shows because, that whole area there, Fredericksburg, Kerrville. I mean, it's even drivable from Austin. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah, people just drive in to see the show for the night or over the, multiple shows.
The last night of it is tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody can go?
Yeah.
Anybody can go.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have to remind me next year. See if
we'll talk about it.
Maybe catch a ride in Ruby.
Tons of fun.
I'll bring my own tent.
Strap you to something.
I like sleeping outdoors. I really do. And it's a little warm now.
Yeah.
It was a little warm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like Jennifer and Roger hooked up like a swamp cooler. Mm-hmm. So
I saw a picture of, and I don't know where I saw this, but that somebody had an AC unit sitting on like a table or a stool or something, and they had just duct taped and dryer hosed piping to three different tents. And it was just a window unit, a regular rectangular window unit.
Hilarious.
And they had it hooked in somewhere, and it was giving AC to three tents.
Yeah.
I wonder how effective it was.
It probably,
effective enough.
I think,
a lot better than nothing for sure.
Yeah. I've got one of those I actually have two of them, but they stand up and you pipe the exhaust out a window. Mm-hmm. And anyway, I could bring one of those camping.
It would totally work. But
we went down to up to Jacksboro for a little camping trip, and I pretty much figured that was the last weekend we were going to get to sleep in a tent because it's just so hot after that.
It got hot real fast this year.
Laying down in the tent, you couldn't really get comfortable until about like 11 midnight when it finally started to cool down a little bit. So I can't imagine sleeping in a tent right now.
I know.
Any later in the summer.
Well, fortunately, at Kerrville, you usually don't go to bed until about 2 a.m. at the earliest.
Raging.
It's nuts.
Yeah, but then you wake up and it's 11.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no.
But
really
we have a
hot.
full kitchen, on a flatbed with a refrigerator and cooking and sinks and all that stuff.
We take shifts on meals, and we do
volunteer.
dinner and second dinner. So there's
second dinner?
Yeah. So there's
second dinner's like 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, 2 o'clock in the morning. We make more food.
Yeah.
And we feed everybody. Like you can't come by and not leave.
That's awesome.
Full.
Yeah.
So that's all Jovita Roy.
It looks like a lot of fun. Yeah. Love camping. How are the stars out there?
We forgot to look.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't look that much.
That's the best
part. I'm sure they're fabulous, but I'm too busy.
I have a rich inner life.
Yeah. Well, that's how I always gauge my camping site. Like how dark is it?
Right.
How well can I see the stars?
It's a music festival. It's not that dark.
Yeah, it's not that dark, and it's still, it's not too far from Kerrville, so you still got a lot of the light pollution and stuff.
So favorite moment from Kerrville for me? Well, I have several, but the one I keep thinking of is one night, it was like the Tuesday, so all the losers were gone, and we were in song school, so I had to get up early the next day. And you shower at night because it's like you shower at night.
Yeah.
So we showered and we went, and I got in my pajamas and we got in bed, and we were all like ready to go to bed, and I sat straight up out of bed, and I wear this bonnet to bed, right? So I've got this bonnet and these like old man pajamas on. And I sit straight up out of bed and I go, I'm missing something. I'm missing something right now. So I pull on my boots and I take off my bonnet and I put on a sweater because it had rained, so it was a little colder.
Yeah.
And I just start walking.
She said, I'm going.
I just opened up that van door, got me a little flashlight, took my phone, thank goodness, started walking.
Are you asleep?
No, totally awake. Was trying to
Fully
go
on
to sleep
purpose.
and was like, I'm missing fun things.
Oh, okay.
I know it.
The way you're telling the story, I thought you had this moment where you felt like you were missing something, so you had to go find it.
Oh, yeah, no. It was not part of a dream, although it kind of was. So I wander down, and there's all these people at the New Folk Camp, which is like super cool. Like, they're all really talented and incredible, and they're all down there like doing songs. And our friends, the Miles and Mafali. They're from Long Island. We're there. And so I felt like, oh, I can go over there because my friends are there. And so we went and sat in a circle, and I texted Steve, like, I'm sitting in a song circle with the new folk people.
She said, you got to come.
It's like a big deal because they're very good.
So I drag my ass out of bed and I head down there, and there she is sitting in her pajamas.
In my pajamas. In new folk.
In the song circle.
And that's what happened.
That just spontaneousness.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yep. It's really fun.
Yeah, some magic happens. Always.
There was
That's
other
really
magic,
cool.
but that's the one that keeps sticking out to me. Like, oh, I went to a new folk song circle in my pajamas.
Mine was playing My Love on Thursday night with the marimba and the trumpet solo.
Oh my God.
A guy brought a marimba.
What is that?
It's like a mini xylophone, but like full sized, wood blocks, but it's only about that big.
His name is
it's
Jesse.
Two sets, and he came and brought his mandolin first, and
then we're like, go
floored
get
us.
your marimba.
Yeah, and he's like, I'll be right back. And all of a sudden he comes back and he's like assembling this marimba. And, nobody's ever brought a marimba to a freaking folk song circle. But and so the song circle's going around and he's playing and everybody's like, dang, like he's killing it. He's really amazing. And it gets to us, and long story short, she talks me into playing one of the songs off the first record called My Love, and it's like a blues song in a really weird key, And I was like, okay, well, the only way I'm doing this is if we get a stanky marimba solo. And he goes, bring it.
Yeah, and also the MC for the whole thing.
That's what I was getting to.
Yeah.
We weren't even prepared for this. So we start playing this stanky blues song, and the solo comes up, and we point to him, and he's just doing this crazy shit. It was incredible.
So
we were like, what? And then he doesn't even get through the whole thing. He only gets through a couple of bars, and he points to the
Dave
MC.
Oberman.
His name is Dave Oberman, who walks around with his trumpet, and he plays ridiculous folk trumpet around folk song circles.
So incredible.
It's insane anyway. So he points to Dave, and Dave starts playing, and then they start swapping the solo back and forth, a marimba and a trumpet solo on a blues song in a really weird minor key. It was just like, we were just blown away. I couldn't even believe that
really
I
cool.
was a part of that.
Yeah, I need to go with y'all just to get like recordings of this kind of stuff because I'm sure it wasn't captured.
Nobody has come up and said, yeah, I got it on camera
I don't think anybody
yet.
did.
And it's just like, it needed to be badly.
There's other things that happen, like we'll play Grenade, that Bruno Mars song, and then like these women that Matthew and Jovita's daughters, and Sydney will like sing with me, and then they'll like do a mashup, and like nobody captures that either, but it's like ridiculous.
It's just magic. Yeah, it's
so we go.
truly
It
magical.
totally fills our cup every
That's
year,
awesome.
and we've also been going to conferences.
Yeah.
which is also filling our cup too.
Yeah.
So
It's been a busy year already.
Working on perfecting your art.
we are always, and there's no such thing as perfect. I just want to get better.
Yeah.
I want to write better songs. It's time to level up.
Okay.
So we're working on that. So we're going to a lot of workshops and song schools, and also we're trying to like get out there in the world and see, because we don't seem to be fitting into like the Texas music scene as well as we would have hoped. And also we want to travel. So we went to SURFA, which is Southeast Regional Folk Alliance. We always go to the international one when we can. Here Fort Worth took us to that this past year. It was fantastic.
Shout out to here Fort Worth.
Oh yeah, we love here Fort Worth.
Yep.
Boy, do we. And then we're planning to go to the one in the Northeast, and we're also planning to go to Midwest.
Yep.
And maybe far
but
west.
we'll see. And then
maybe.
there's the Southwest that we always go to as well. But it's helping us gain connections to other artists from other regions,
for sure.
venues, so that we can, because the goal is next year to really run larger tours out to all the way out to Florida and
maybe
North
up
Carolina,
to North Carolina and
into the Midwest and hopefully into the Northeast. Within the next couple of years, we want to do that. That's what and that's how we're going to end up.
You're gonna have to quit your jobs.
Well, this is my job. I'm so lucky. Thank you very much. And we will have.
I'm working on a way to maybe work really hard 3 or 4 months out of the year at doing anesthesia, and then be able to do mostly music the rest of the time. And I do I do about half and half right now.
Yeah, it's just
which
a lot
means
of
I'm
traveling.
really busy. But yeah,
it is.
It's a lot of traveling.
But it'll be so much fun.
It will be a wonderful problem to have once we get to that point. Yeah.
I'm kind of making my own Ruby right now.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, when I say that, I haven't taken any steps towards completing the project, but
you have a van.
We have the van.
Okay. What kind of van do you have?
It's just a big box truck. I mean, it's huge, and so there's enough room in there that we like an area that would accommodate the space that we're taking up now inside the box truck for recordings. Maybe quite a bit bigger than what we need here, but comfortable enough for 4 or 5 people to sit around and do a podcast recording. Maybe sit there and strum out some tunes, and then the back half is for equipment, stage equipment, sound equipment, blah blah blah, generator, and then have 2 flop down beds.
Right on.
And hit the road.
Awesome.
So, but when I started this, I was like, I want this to be a podcast where we go places and do things, and we've done that locally. We take the roadcaster with us, like Preservation Hall, where we're at today, Southside Preservation Hall, excuse me. But I'd like to go further, to go to festivals and things like that, and spend a few days and
perfect.
Have the camper thing set up in the back, so we at least have somewhere to sleep and be comfortable. Yeah, and hopefully there's a bathroom nearby.
Yeah, I mean, we're lucky.
Or I'll come knock on your door.
There is a bathroom. Well, we don't do number 2s in our bathroom.
Oh no!
Yeah, there's a rule. Yeah,
we have
it's a good rule. It's a good rule.
Yeah. Was that a lot of information?
We need to know these things.
That part can be edited
it's
out.
All,
right?
no,
it
important.
can't.
Oh, okay.
We quit doing edits a long time ago.
Well, there you go. We only do number 1s in the van.
It's a very
all of
important
you people out
rule.
there.
That's you know what? That is a bumper sticker. You need to. That needs to go on the back of Ruby.
I love that.
It could be more of our merch. We have little shoes that are merch.
By the way, we have a gift for you.
What is this? Okay, so for our listeners that aren't watching the YouTube video, it is a sneaker, maybe a running shoe, purple in color, and it's got the little Tips and Obermiller logo on the top of the shoe. This is too cool. I don't understand it, but it's really cool.
So we'll explain, which is, you explain how.
So it started when I lived in Japan. I was a performer in a theme park in Osaka, and we would all hang out together a lot. And there were
I do remember
gospel singers.
Yeah,
and when you'd sing really well, they'd go, "Oh, I'm gonna throw my shoe at you," and throw their shoe at you, and then so it became a thing with my cast. I'm just reminding everyone in case you weren't following along.
Well, 2 years ago we talked about this story.
Yeah. And so then you'd be in Japan and you get done singing a song and there'd be shoes in front of you. So I came home and I started going to these song circles, and when people did something really well, I would just take off my shoe and throw it at them.
Which is so bizarre to me, but I'm glad that it's a thing.
It's it feels a little bit like when you pinch a baby because they're cute. It's like a similar, oh my God,
you're incredible.
Have you ever seen somebody do something that you'd like to do so well that you just want to
squeeze them,
throw your shoe at them?
You can't even help it.
Not aggressive. It's it's a show of
it's a high compliment.
I am willing to go barefoot for what you just did.
Have you played with these? It's just so nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah, they're wonderful.
So we wrote a song that's on the new record. We got kind of challenged by Sarah Hickman at her show at the Post after we told her what our name was. She laughed, because it was just it's a mouthful, and she was expecting a band name, right? And so she just laughed really hard, and she said, "Oh, y'all need to write an introductory song to explain your name to everybody." Well, she laid it down, so we did, and at the end of it, we reference throwing a shoe. If you like us, you can throw
your shoe.
And so then the next thought was, we do actually, the people who come out to see us throw their shoes at us.
Big shoe
you asked for it.
Yeah, and so
shoe
we're getting shoes thrown at us, and we thought, well, wouldn't this be funny to have some merch where they can buy it and put their name on the bottom of it, so it's theirs, and then they can throw it at us, and then we get to throw it back at them.
It's cool.
So you get some fan interaction as well. So
Suddenly, it felt like our album release. It was just in the big room here. It felt like some kind of a those big rock shows where they're throwing beach balls through the whole crowd and crowd surfing. It was there were just shoes everywhere. I was running around and just throwing them back at people, and it was crazy.
When was this? When did y'all do your album release?
April 14th.
Okay.
Where were you, Andrew?
I'm trying to remember.
No, I actually think we talked about this. I ran into you, and I think you were out of town.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
April was crazy for us.
Yeah.
Was that wasn't the eclipse weekend, was it?
No.
It was the weekend after.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I'd have to look at notes and calendars.
We had a great time.
It's a mystery at this point.
Did it in the ballroom.
Except for you not being there, it was really fun.
Yeah, I would have loved to have been there. Did you have a good turnout?
We had a great turnout.
Awesome.
Yeah, filled the room.
Well, and we were talking about this, folks. If you missed it, we just did an episode with Dennis and Matthew at the Southside Preservation Hall, and it's the episode right before this one. But we were talking about what just a rad space this is, and that room apparently, if standing only is 300 people, it'll hold something like that.
Something like that. Yeah,
that's awesome, and it's such a big stage, and it's got good sound in there, great lighting. I mean, it's the place.
Yeah, it's really cool.
And as more and more places around here, unfortunately, are closing their doors, you're going to see more people popping in here to do shows.
I hope so. We've definitely picked up the pace. We've kind of gotten to a point where we have
Steve's on the board.
Problem. Yeah, I'm a board member. So,
he is the board,
and
he's making me bored.
I'm the volunteer. I'm the volunteer coordinator. So I do that all the time. And so we've got a lot of shows and not near as many volunteers as we need. So I mean, it's a great problem to have, and I'm glad we're exposing everybody to a couple of great rooms for Fort Worth. But I mean,
after we got done with the recording, you've taken me back there before and showed me quite a bit.
The sanctuary, the big room, the wow room.
Yeah, the wow room and some of the other rooms back there. We went a little deeper today.
Oh, did you? Did you go into the classrooms and stuff?
Went all the way to the 4th level.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And man.
With the leaky roof.
Sounds like a video game. Was there an Easter egg up there? Is that what video game people say?
If there was, I missed it. We have to go back.
Right. Okay.
No, but it's just, since I was a kid, I've just always been fascinated with old buildings. Yeah. And this place is just so beautiful, and it's got such rich history, and we got to save it, man.
I know. And thank you for doing this podcast with us and spreading the word. And, it's not just, hey, come to see some shows. We have a need for people who are interested in saving it through volunteers, through in-kind donation, through monetary donations. We have needs on our board for people, and there's so much to do.
Yeah. I was telling Dennis, you guys need to make up little flyers, just one sheet of paper that says, did you like what you saw here today? Do you want to hang out here more?
Right.
Be a volunteer.
Yeah.
A little bit of contact information, and every single person that comes through the door gets one of those.
We have lists, and we're trying to figure the best way of spreading that word. And
what Andrew just said.
You got to attack it on several fronts, so it's like anything else. You can't do one thing. It's got to be 6-fold, 9-fold.
Yeah.
So you've got your work cut out for you, homie. You've got, that, and trying to find funding from organizations and all that fun stuff.
To actually truly save the whole building and refurbish it. Yep. Yeah.
Well, maybe we can get something going. Maybe the Fort Worth community will.
Everybody out there,
give us a hand.
Yeah. Please contact us.
And we'll have, I'll put information for Southside Preservation Hall in the show notes for this episode as well. But what is the new album that you just released in April?
It's called MacGuffin.
MacGuffin?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Let A MacGuffin is a storytelling device that is not what the story is about, but it helps drive the story.
Okay.
So
It's like a supporting character.
yeah.
Okay.
No, it's
It's like the Death Star
the Death Star in
Oh.
Star Wars.
Okay.
Yeah.
or the Ark.
The Ark.
It's
and
part of the story. It's an important part.
It's
It's a MacGuffin.
but it's not really what the story's about.
Right. Right. The story's really about some whiny little kid that thinks he's being treated unfairly.
Exactly.
Right, but they were always trying to
Named
get
Hillary.
through the MacGuffin.
I'm talking about Star Wars.
I mean, but also
Anakin.
Yeah.
The end.
So yeah, we thought that was nice and clever, and so because the songs are stories in and of themselves, so we felt like the album was just sort of the device in which we get to share all of the stories.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, we recorded it at Blackstone.
Okay, love
Yeah.
that studio.
Yeah, with Mark Randall and Nick Tittle.
Yep.
And
such a good experience.
had a wonderful time. Yep. Our buddies Trey Ware and Aiden Bubeck played on it, and Nick did a couple things on the record as well.
Glockenspiel
He added glockenspiel to them, believe it or not.
and organ.
What is
Yep.
Glockenspiel?
It's that thing that goes ding, ding, ding.
Again, like a little xylophone.
Yeah.
We're going back to
There's so many xylophones
so
out there.
there are different ones. Yeah.
Apparently.
They should just give them letters and numbers, like xylophone A1. Xylophone A2.
Right?
Yeah,
Easier
exactly.
for me.
Yeah. 1B, 1C.
The Germans just wanted their own.
But yeah, collection of 10 songs, and most of them were co-writes with us between the two of us at this point, which was nice because the record before we only had 3 songs, and so yeah, we got a couple of songs that we had written separately years back that we decided to put on the record. But for the most part, it was a real team effort for writing the songs and stuff. So.
Well, and Clay Parker plays piano on it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Clay.
Don't forget Clay.
I know. Can't do it.
Do you have any big shows coming up?
No big shows, no.
What do you mean,
we
big
have
shows?
We have our first Wednesday of the month residency at the Cicada every month.
Okay.
And that's cool.
That's a big show.
Well,
yeah.
we play out of town. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're playing the Starlight Theater in Terlingua.
Yeah, no,
That's
I meant
awesome.
local. I meant locally. We don't have anything
Oh,
local, but we're going to play in Alpine and Starlight.
at the Ritchie, and then in Alpine at the Ritchie, and in Terlingua at the Starlight Theater.
Starlight's not Starlight, but Terlingua's where it's at right now. So by proxy, Starlight's where it's at.
Yeah.
So excited for that. I've never been to Terlingua, and I've
Oh,
always
this is your
wanted,
first time there?
Yeah.
Exactly, and I've always wanted to play there. And then next month we're going to Austin.
Yeah, we're going to be in Crockett, which is out east of Austin, first at Camp Street. I can't remember what they call it, Camp Street Cafe or something like that. It's a listening room out there, and then a couple of shows in Austin.
And then in August we're going to Oklahoma and Kansas.
God.
So
And then in September starts the conferences again.
Ruby's going to be like, I need a break.
She might be.
maybe.
I don't know. She had real good mileage when we got her. So.
How many how many trips? How many trips do you think you'll end up taking before you rip that? We only do number one bumper sticker off. How long is it going to take until you break the holy rule?
Always open to emergencies, but hopefully never.
I'm so
but we'll
sorry,
see.
Ruby.
It'd be like a bridesmaids moment.
Oh God! I just recently saw that for the first time.
Terrible.
It's bad. It's really bad.
I mean, that's why, like, even like one time we slept at a parking lot of a gas station, and we were
Truck
like,
stop. Yeah.
truck stop, and we were like, still, going indoors,
Yeah.
going inside.
Yeah, that's got to be something to get used to, right? Hanging out in a parking lot.
That was kind of noisy.
Well, it was noisy, but at the same time, it was
so
like
transient. There's people just.
And then it hailed on us because we were in Midland.
Ruby.
Yeah. We
it was
got up
nuts.
under a thing, but
Nice.
yeah. We're having some adventures.
Lots of very cool
Sounds like
adventures.
it.
Yeah.
Well, our little camera is about to run out of space on the card.
What?
Yeah. So.
Or are you just bored with us?
No, I am not bored with you,
Real
but
talk.
I've got a special way I want to end this show, and the camera has to be active.
Okay.
Oh,
But we can use extra time to make awesome videos and take some pictures.
sweet.
Sounds good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. And we could do this again real soon.
Okay.
Absolutely. You bet.
Okay.
We have singles coming out in the
yeah.
fall. So
Okay. That's
we'll
perfect.
come back. Yeah.
Tell people where to find your content.
Tips and Obermiller. T as in Tom. I, P as in Paul. P as in Paul. S as in Sam.
The word and then you don't even have to worry about Obermiller because everything pops up with tips and that's anywhere and everywhere you go. That's it'll pop up. So
And it will be in the show notes. Andrew, don't forget.
And I'm Hillary Tips. In case anyone was.
Did I mess that up in the past?
No.
I feel like I might have.
I feel like people just don't know who's what.
Okay.
Who's which is.
I don't know. I was feeling guilty there. It felt like an indictment.
Oh, it totally wasn't. What's about you, Andrew?
All right, guys. Well, thank y'all for doing this with me,
Thanks
and
for
we'll get
having
you
us,
back
bud.
on here real soon.
Yes,
Wonderful.
please.
All right. Big shout out to our friends Hillary Tips and Steve Obermiller. These guys are awesome. I love running into them at events around town. They're very active in the community. Steve is one of the most active participants, volunteers up there at Southside Preservation Hall, and it's people like him that are making that place what it is today. It's booming. There's crazy stuff happening up there. I just saw an ad today. They're going to have another Mat Pro Wrestling event up there, professional wrestling there at Southside Preservation Hall. You can go check that out. It is Southside Preservation on Instagram. Go check out our homies, did I already say this? Tips and Obermiller on Instagram as that name. And stay tuned. We're going to get them back on the show very soon. I did have to cut this episode short because I knew the camera was going to die on us, and I didn't want that. So we kept it to a nice, tidy 38 minutes, I think, for the recording. But just always a great conversation with them. I had to do 0 edits for the entire conversation. It's just natural with these guys. They're awesome. We love them. Thank you, Hillary, Steve. You guys are awesome. Hope to see you soon. All right, Flurry Fitness. Talked about them up front. Instagram is Flurry Fitness Fort Worth. They're located at 643 Sherry Lane, Fort Worth, Texas 76114. Go to their Instagram and click on the link provided for your free 3-day pass. Also tell them you heard about them on the Fort Worth Roots podcast, and during their spring sales event, they will waive your sign-up fee. Flurry Fitness, it's a group-led cardio boxing class, and it's a lot of fun. And listen, there are gyms all over probably the country that are failing. But talking to the owner out there, Andy at Flurry Fitness, they're doing great. And what does that tell us about this business? Well, he probably knows what he's doing. He's got some great people backing him. But the community supports this place because it's effective. It's got good people running it, knowledgeable trainers. Go check that out. Again, it's Flurry Fitness, and tell them that you heard about them on the Fort Worth Roots podcast. And by the way, guys, all of our sponsors, you can go to our website, fortworthroots.com. We've got the Trusted Sponsors tab. You can click on that and see everybody that is helping us maintain the Fort Worth Roots podcast. Big thank you to everybody that came out this weekend at Augie's. It was a great time. We had a lot of fun, and I don't know if you've ever had a chance to go see the Jaybirds, but it's something else. You need to try and catch a show next chance you get. They opened up for Blink-182 about a week ago, and that's pretty cool. Pouring Glory, 1001 Bryan Avenue, Fort Worth, Texas. Just off South Main Street and I-35, 1 block north of Rosedale. Pouring Glory is a growler refilling station that serves craft beer and award-winning food with live music. If y'all been watching us on our social media, there is always something going on at Pouring Glory now. Scott is doing everything he can to make this place your third home, your third place. If you're not at work, if you're not at home, this is where you want to be. And starting June 11th, yours truly is going to start doing a weekly Thursday night karaoke. Now, you might have just rolled your eyes because you're thinking, karaoke's fun, but I suck. My vocals just aren't on par. Well, I thought of that because, like you, I can't carry a tune in a bucket. I went and I bought this audio voice correcting machine. So you can sing into it, and it comes out the speaker sounding great. So it'll keep you in key and make you sound like a star. It's a great way to enjoy karaoke, and there's not a better place in town that you could do this on a Thursday night. So join me July 11th at Pouring Glory from 7 to 10 for karaoke. And I'd love to see you guys out there. We're going to be doing it weekly, but I want to try to build up a little bit of a community behind this thing, because I don't know if you've ever hung out in a karaoke group, but it can get serious. It can get real serious. So, anyway, we're going to try to do that. McFly's Pub, 6104 LTJG Barnett Road, Fort Worth, Texas, just outside the East Gate for the military base. It's a 1980s Back to the Future themed bar with a very impressive outdoor area. Got a fire pit, but you're not going to need that right now. Don't worry, the air conditioner inside is doing great. Cool little place, nice vibes, great people. Hang out with your friends. They've got pool, darts, cornhole, jumbo Jenga, and they do live events all the time. You know, McFly's and Pouring Glory are very similar in the fact that they're trying to do stuff to get you off the couch. So check them out on Instagram. It's McFly's Pub. And I promise you, if you haven't been to this place, you've never seen anything like it in Fort Worth. It's a cool little spot, man. And they got a food truck there now, too. And that food truck is slapping. Woodpost Metalworks. Go to woodpostmetalworks.com. Offer code podcast817. They specialize in metal signs with or without LED backlighting, fence and gate repair, or installation, light steel fabrication, industrial plasma cutting, and more. Houkwalker Originals. Go to houkwalker.com. They offer a huge variety of unique and personalized gifts. Also laser engraving to customize just about anything you can think of. We get our tumblers that we give away at our annual event from Houkwalker Originals. We'll have some more of those this year, and that has been moved to October 5th. We're going to have a huge stage out there. Benny Keith is providing us with a roll-up stage. It's a trailer. Now, I'm going to need some help setting it up, too, so holler at me. I don't know how to do this stuff. I'm a podcaster, guys. Anyway, it's going to be a lot of fun. All of the musicians that played in this series are going to be with us on one stage for that day. Absolutely. Will not be a cover. And same great food from Pouring Glory. Great vibes. And it's a great way for us to close out the first year of the Fort Worth Roots Live Music Festival. So hope you can make it out October 5th. And, Houkwalker Originals will be providing us with those laser engraved tumblers. And if you're ever running around and you happen to go by Yale and Meandering right there at the corner, River Oaks, Fort Worth, is the Fort Worth Roots podcast studio. And we've got a big old sign hanging off the front that Woodpost Metalworks made for us, and it's awesome. And it's been on the front of our building probably getting close to a year, and no signs of aging at all. It's just great. The paint they used, the metal they used, and how they installed it, it's working out fabulously. So anyway, if you need something like that for your business or home decor, Woodpost Metalworks has got you covered. You can tell I've been talking a lot. I was emceeing the event yesterday, and I didn't realize I was losing my voice until just now. If y'all miss these events, don't feel bad about it, because we're going to keep doing them. And as time goes on, I'm just cooking up more ideas for you guys, because I want you to come see me. Not all the time, but anytime you get a chance. Eaton Data Solutions, EatonDataSolutions.com. Our friend Richard Eaton is the owner of Eaton Data Solutions, and when he's not protecting small and medium-sized businesses from data theft and cyber attacks, he's doing the very same thing at his 9 to 5 for Fortune 500 companies. Richard has been doing this for a very long time. He has watched the technology change and scammers' techniques adapt over the years. As the online criminals get better and better at attacking companies across the globe, one thing became very clear to Mr. Eaton. It's not just enormous Fortune 500 companies that are vulnerable to these online punks. Now even small and medium-sized businesses are being attacked. It can happen in an instant. Business owners log in one morning and realize they no longer have access to any of their data, payroll, tax records, customer database, and files they've been maintaining since the formation of their LLC. Just gone. And that's what these cyber criminals start making demands. That's when they start making demands. I'm getting better at this, Reed. Anyway, what they'll do is they'll tell you, hey, you're going to pay me a bunch of money or you're never going to get your data back. And if you pay them the money, there's a chance, it's like 50-50, that they'll give you your data back, but they're going to target you again. It's a vicious cycle. Richard knew small and medium-sized businesses needed data protection, just like the big guys. EatonDataSolutions.com. If you'll go there, you can find the drop-down menu at the top right, find services and plans. Eaton Data Solutions can help you and your team identify areas of vulnerability in your existing system and provide you with solutions to protect your business from the unthinkable. Go check them out, EatonDataSolutions.com. Even if you have a very small business, you need to make sure that you get ahead of something like this because it's more and more a problem every single year. The Body Scrubbery. Find them on Instagram as the Body Scrubbery, located at 519 Pennsylvania Avenue 76104. Their website is thebodyscrubbery.com. A boutique and unique spa experience. Don't cheat yourself, treat yourself. Luxury foot spa, full body scrubs, infrared heat wraps, massage bubble tub, mud wraps, facials, couples packages, and small group parties. Go online and check this place out. Hit the drop down menu. They got one too. Upper right corner, and find the Book Now tab. Michelle is the owner out there at the Body Scrubbery, and we love Michelle. Great people. And we've got videos on our social media where we went out and did some filming for her, but she's also got her videos, which you should probably go check out that first. The Body Scrubbery on Instagram, and just kind of shows you what they do, but it's a very wide range of treatments that she does out there at the Body Scrubbery. It's just a great gift idea. It's a wonderful thing to do to relax and just rejuvenate yourself. Great for the skin, stuff like that. Go check it out. The Body Scrubbery on Instagram. Wavy Digital, our friend Gianna Scott, is an expert at increasing the power of your digital footprint. She can take photos for you of your products or services and help you get those up and out to the public. Wavy Digital on Instagram. It's WAVVY Digital. Check that out. Then thank you to our sponsors. Amplify 817. Talked about them up front. Read the script off for you. Basically, what you need to know is you are accustomed to using Pandora, Spotify, Apple Music, whatever apps you've got out there. Well, when you're listening to those, typically, unless you're paying for a subscription, you are going to have to listen to commercials, and they kind of jumble up your playlist too, don't they? You're like, I want to listen to this person. They're like, cool. You mean these 12 people that you didn't mention? No, that's not what I wanted. Well, whenever you go to amplify817.org, you can find a bunch of local musicians. A heavily curated process. There's locals that take the submissions from these artists and they decide who's going into each round. And so you're getting the best of the local music. And it spreads across every genre. You can find it on amplify817.org. No commercials, no charge. They just want you to find these new local musicians with their beautiful art. And the number one thing that I would want you to know about Amplify 817 is that they pay their artist up front. They don't have to wait for you to stream one of their songs 1,000 times for them to make a penny. They get paid before you listen to the music. How incredible is that? We really need to get behind organizations that are doing it right instead of propping up other folks that are doing everything they can to hold our friends down. They got big corporations boot on their neck. Anyway, Amplify 817 is not like that, and you should support it. I know I do. If you come to our karaoke event, July 11th for our first one, in between sets or whenever we're getting ready or when we're breaking down, we will always be playing Amplify817.org artists. Maybe not straight off their website. I think there's like some kind of business regulation on that, but we will make sure that you are exposed to the wonderful music that's available on the Amplify817.org platform. So check it out yourself. Check it out anytime you're around the Fort Worth Roots podcast at any of our events. That's how we were doing it this weekend out there at Augie's. Whenever the band needed a break or we were switching up sets, whatever, we played music that can be found on Amplify817.org. So, okay, well, I'm going to give my voice a break. Thank y'all for listening to this episode, and we will see you next week. Please put the karaoke thing on your calendar if you can make it out. If not, we will see you for the next leg, the July leg of the Fort Worth Roots Live Music Festival, supporting small businesses and providing our local artists with another additional stage. So come check that out. You want details, you can either DM me or find it on our social media. There will be changes, I am sure. But it's been a lot of fun. We started this off in March. It goes through October now. And we are going to put all of the bands that played in this series on one stage, October 5th at Pouring Glory, on a massive stage on loan from Benny Keith. It's a big old trailer. Shout out to Maria Castillo for getting all that worked out for us. It's going to be wild. We're going to have the street shut down. There's going to be a vendor market. This is the big one, October 5th. But we have 2 more to go through. We got, 3, right? July? No. Yeah, 2. We've got our July event with Late to the Station out there at Panther Island Brewing. And then we've got our August event. And that will be at the Cicada. Really excited about that. It's the first time we've worked with the Cicada. And love that place, love what they're doing out there, and they really have salvaged and, in my opinion, improved what used to be Main at Southside. Okay, I did it again. I talked too much. You guys are awesome. I love you, and I will see you next week. Peace.